Hi, it's Mike again. Welcome to another video. I'm in my living room today to show you my Hot Wheels timer version 3. Now you might have seen my Hot Wheels timer version 2 and my actual start gate as well. And this is the next iteration of what I've been developing. This here is the closest you're actually going to get to like a scaled drag strip. So like version 2, it does an ET and awards a winner, but it also has a speed gate. So what it happens is when the car goes through, it will actually tell you how fast it's going near the finish line. So that's pretty cool. So what I'll do is in this video, I'll go through this whole timing system. I'll show you how it works. I'll show you how it times. I'll put a link in the description below on the program itself and the material I use, and there'll also be a wiring diagram, so you can just download that and you can wire it all up. Now you'll need to know a little bit of soldering, and you should be somewhat handy to fabricate this timing gate as well. You can make it out of wood. You can even make it out of Lego if you want. The only thing you really have to worry about is this fixed distance. It needs to be pretty accurate, and when you program it, so it actually will give you a correct speed. So please follow along, and I hope you enjoy this video. So on the back side of the start gate, there's a red micro switch, and it's wired to the Arduino board. So when the gate is open, it sends a signal to the Arduino that the race has started, and it starts the timer. Once the cars leave the start line, they come up to the first set of sensors here, and this is the Speedgate Sensor. And this Speedgate is actually 500 millimeters away from the finish line. And so when the cars pass through here, they are time stamped. And when they go across the finish line, they are time stamped. And then a calculation is made on how fast they were going. So lane 1, you can see, did 11.54 kilometers an hour. And lane 2 did 10.80 kilometers an hour. And of course, lane 1 was the winner because it had a fastest ET and fastest overall speed as well. So just like my version 2, I'm using the same sensor. These are the GIC-Fun sensors, and I'll link the description below on what they are. And those are the sensors are the same ones in the finish line as well. And on top of the finish line, I have LEDs, so you can see an analog who actually won the race, so it actually lights up who wins the race. And that goes all the way to an Arduino Uno, so I'm using an Uno this one. And then a standard 20 by 4 LCD display. And that just all runs on like a simple cell phone charger. So this is all standalone, so you can take this wherever you want. So let's go to the computer and I'll give you an overview on how the program actually works. Okay, so the version 3 is very similar to the version 2, and all we actually did here was add the speed trap beams. Basically, it's the same program. We're just adding the speed trap beams and we're doing a calculation. I'll show you how that works. So in the front of the program here, I've actually included a bunch of extra libraries, and you'll need that in case you get a LCD screen that's not really supported or something different or a different manufacturer. So you want to make sure that if it doesn't work, make sure all your libraries are intact. And then also you have to make sure you have the right address. Most of the LCD screens are 27. 0 times 27, and if it's still not working, then you might need to run your I2C scanner to figure out what the address is of the LCD screen and then put that number in there. So the next step here is these are initializing the actual beams. So AO and A1 are lane 1, the speed trap and finish line, and A2 and A3 are actually lane 2, speed trap and finish line. So what's going to happen here is this is the speed constant. Now this is another thing. My speed trap beam from the front of the speed trap to the finish line is 500 millimeters. And what's it's actually doing, it's actually doing a calculation. It's converting milliseconds to kilometers an hour, and it's using the distance of 500 millimeters. So this is just a calculation. If you do something different than 500 millimeters, you need to redo the calculation and change that number. So if it's more than 500 millimeters, of course this is going to be greater, and if it's less, this will be obviously less. So you got to make sure that if you're not 500 millimeters apart or 50 centimeters, then you need to add this in so you get an accurate speed. So very similar to my version 2. So what it does here, it sits and waits So this, when the timer is actually closed, so the gate is closed, everything sits at 0, 0, 0. It keeps on waiting, and as soon as it opens, it assigns a start time to both lanes. And then it waits for a sensor reading as a car breaking through the sensor. Now, if we go back up here, you'll see that the threshold I have is 50. So basically, when there's no cars and nothing interrupting the beam, it's high. So it's around 1,000. As soon as a car breaks the beam, it's less than 500. It's always less than 500. It's probably close to like 200 or 300. You can make this whatever you want, just as long as it's less than the 1,000 of its steady state. So once it realizes that the beams are broken and it's under the threshold, it assigns a time stamps the speed trap, and then when it waits for the finish line, and it time stamps the finish line. And once both cars are through the finish line, it assigns a winner. So the LED lights will light up on which lane won. And then it finally does the calculations and awards the winner on the screen, and it writes the time. Now, if you want to use miles an hour, you need to take this out, and it will calculate kilometers an hour to miles an hour, and that's the conversion factor. And then you can change kilometers here to miles. And that's about it. The one thing I should point out is if you close the start gate while the race is going, the race will be null and void. So the actual start gate opening and closing is the actual reset button as well. So you don't have to hit the reset button on the Arduino at all. The reset is done on the start gate. So that's it. Well, I hope this inspires you to build a timing system like this as well, whether it's my finish line version 2 or this version 3. I am going to build a version 4, so please subscribe and hit that bell icon. The next iteration of this is actually going to have a printer, so when the race is over, you can push a button and it will actually give you a time slip like a real drag strip. How cool is that? I hope this inspires you to build something similar, and if you have any comments, please leave them below. I'd like to know what you think. Once again, thanks for watching.